Hi everybody, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today is DIY Tuesdays, and today I'm going to show you how I made this pearl bag. I'm super obsessed with pearls. It is my birthstone, but it's also super trendy right now, so I'm loving doing projects around this. And let's just jump right in and I'll show you how I made this. Okay guys, so here I am using clear vinyl. This is 8 gauge, and what I am going to do is fold it in half and turn it so that the side that's not open is facing me. I don't really know how to explain this. I can tell you my measurements were about an inch and an inch, but if you just follow this, I am creating what is called a pattern. And this is, I probably should have copied this so that I can have it for future reference whenever I want to make a tote bag, but this is the pattern that you would make for a tote. And I'm using a dry erase marker so that I can remove it easily. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out, and then once I'm done, I just use my fingers to wipe off the marker, and then we'll be moving on to the next step. So I'm going to sew both sides that are open by hand. You can do this with a sewing machine. You can use a 6000 glue, but I prefer, because of the bag and I'll probably store stuff in it, I didn't want it to have the create a potential accident, so I'm just going to go ahead and sew it on both sides. You're going to leave the top open because that is the opening for the bag, and then when we go into the next step, I'll explain how to work with those two bottom corners. So for the bottom corners, the best way I guess to explain this is you're going to bend the corner so that it flattens. This is the base of the bag, and we are going to sew that hole closed. But in order to do that, you have to kind of fold it over so it's flat, and then if you follow where my finger is, you're just going to sew straight across, put your knots in, do the same thing on the other side, and then you have your tote. I'll end up flipping it inside out, which you will see. And you don't really have to go through this whole step of creating the vinyl bag or the vinyl base. I personally just wanted the bag to be a little bit thicker. The fabric that I'm going to use, I don't know if it's even called fabric. It's not like, I think of cloth as fabric, but when I bring in the pearls, it is a little bit flimsy, so I wanted to have something as a base. Like I said, this is an 8 gauge vinyl. I think there's like 4 and 12 and a bunch of other ones. You could probably go up to 12 if you like. It would have been harder for me to manipulate, but this was just what I needed for what I was looking to do. So that's why I purchased it. So this was the cloth that I was talking about. I got this from Etsy. I'll link everything below. And it is kind of like mesh, I guess. It's see-through. You can put your fingers through it. So I'm going to be wrapping the bag in this. And I'm also going to use pearl beads to secure it. Because this is mesh, the needle wouldn't have been as secure. I guess the thread would have been as secure because it kept sliding through. So I'm using these little pearl beads as little accents, which I thought were cute, and it kind of follows the inspiration bag that I saw on Mango. And what you're going to do is you're going to want to send the needle into the bag. You can do this either way you like. I personally don't care when the little knot's showing because it's so tiny. But once you send it through, you're going to want to attach the pearl beads. You could do as many as you like. Like I said, this is just helping it secure to the vinyl fabric. And then you're just gonna keep sewing in and out until you feel that it's secure. You can kind of start to tell as you go along. The first time it's like, oh, the beads are moving, not secure. By the third go around, you can kind of feel that it's in place and it's not going to move. And once you get to that point, tie a knot, and then move to the next section. I did this on the corners of the bag, the middle of the bag, and obviously down the center. wherever the fabric was meeting, I wanted to kind of put these little accents so that it wouldn't attract too much to the fact that it's meeting like that. Now the sides of my bag are open. I am going to go ahead and secure those later with glue. And I'm going to do a nice little just soft stitch just to make it seem more intentional. I didn't mind it. If this is something that you wouldn't want, then I would suggest probably just not doing the vinyl, but I think it's cute. So for the handle, the handles were so easy. And this was literally, I was just playing around and this idea like fell in my lap. So I actually did this for my party. I did that like decoration on the bottle. In between these beads is string. And if you twist it, it interlocks almost. So I'm going to show you how I did it. I literally just put the two together and twist in the opposite direction. You can go back and forth, back and forth. If you find that one isn't really staying in place, or maybe the string is just too loose in between the two, get a little hot glue and secure it that way. But this was like so easy, and I love that they look like handles. When I put them on the bag, they really look like I just made this handle, and they're a little bit bulky and just chunkier, and they look braided. I love it, I love it, love it. So the last and final step is just to sew the handles on. Again, I'm going from the inside. I'm going to go through one of those holes, stitch it around, and you can send it through the handle because there's a little opening if that's easier for you. If not, you're gonna go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out until, again, the handle doesn't move, and that's how you know that it's secure when you're sewing. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this. It definitely was probably a little bit of a more creatively challenging DIY for me because I had to think outside of the box. But I wanted to share this with you guys in case anyone wanted to make their own bag or just really wanted to experiment with this. It's super easy, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Bye!